5 ways to make money as a grappler. Number 1, really obvious one. If you feel confident enough, teach seminars or small classes. You know, pick a technique, pick your A game, whatever it is. It could be in your own gym if your coach is okay with that, presuming you're not the owner of the gym or whatever. Do it in a friend's gym, do an early morning class or something. Specify a technique and say, yeah, I don't know, you're going to teach 2 hours on butterfly guard and nailing something in particular that you're really good at with butterfly guard. Really easy one. Start teaching or doing seminars on a specific position or specific subject. Number 2 is sell merch. Partner up with a clothing company, partner up with a sponsor. You know, ask for a cut of a specific design, collaborate with them on a t-shirt or something like that. Or do your own if you've got a nickname, or play on something, work with a designer, come up with a design. You can print on demand if you want. Tons of websites out there. Or you could just get 20 printed, sell them all to your mates for your next upcoming match or something like that. More straightforward than you think, and not a bad way to make a little bit of money. Do limited runs, you could do all sorts. Do a white t-shirt this time, 3 months time do a black t-shirt. Yeah, get friends with designers and see what you can come up with, see what you can make. Number 3, something you're seeing all the time, is create some content. So it could be a YouTube channel. Now this is kind of like a longer play, I guess, but it could be a YouTube channel. It could be specific stuff that you put on TikTok. Come up with the strategy, stick with it, start putting some content out there. It could be you do a technique of the week on TikTok. Once you get past, I think it's either 10,000 or 100,000 followers on TikTok, they start paying you for TikToks. In the same way that YouTube you can join it with the content creator program. It won't be loads to start off with, but if you're hammering it and you're doing really well, you can start to make money from TikTok and YouTube. So have a think about the content that you would create, and my brain just goes to jiu-jitsu technique because that's what's so popular at the minute. But you can really build yourself over a platform on there and start to make money from creating content. You don't need a lot. You could do it all with a phone if you wanted to. Before you know it, you're making some content and you could be making some money from that. The other thing that you can get from creating content and having an active channel is brand sponsorships. So companies will get in touch with influential creators and say, could you talk about the benefits of using this defense soap in, you know what I mean, to prevent ringworm or whatever it is. It could be anything, it could be coffee, it could be, don't think just MMA and jiu-jitsu. There's all kinds of brands out there that are looking for just exposure, but authentic exposure. So yeah, you can make some real money from doing brand partner videos on YouTube, TikTok, wherever. Number 4 is a fairly obvious one, but sponsorships. So obviously clothing brands and other companies will often sponsor fighters or jiu-jitsu guys. Now these can come at a really high level, and a lot of people presume that this is the only way to make money in jiu-jitsu, and they think it's the dream. Or wouldn't it be amazing if somebody came along and said, I'm going to pay you X amount and you can just train full time. Now the reality is that's kind of saved for the top 2% of probably grapplers in the world. Same with MMA fighters really. It's very rare that people, except for the highest levels, will get paid, you know, like a certain amount each month by a sponsorship program. You know, I imagine somebody like Fionn, obviously Gordon Ryan, people like that do get a monthly retainer. Whether or not it's enough to live off, again, you know, remains questionable. It'll obviously supplement your income and it'll obviously help. But I imagine a lot of people just think that once you get sponsored and you get paid monthly by a sponsorship, that's an amazing way to live and that's the only way to live. It's not true. You know, they're all doing lots of other things in order to make money. Number 5, you're not going to like this one because it's going to sound backwards, but is to get a job / invest in yourself. So one of the ways to make money as a grappler is obviously to go through the belt ranking systems, go do loads of competitions and just generally perform amazingly. You can't do that if you can't look after your body, and you can't look after your body without having a bit of money behind you. So as much as the allure of being a full-time grappler might be amazing, having a part-time job, it doesn't have to be full-time, doesn't have to be a career. It could be fucking working in Tesco, it could be working in Costa Coffee, it could be working wherever. Somewhere that you know you might do 16 hours a week, just part-time, just to like cover your bills and then a bit more. That could pay for your competition entries, it could pay for some physio, it could pay for a strength and conditioning coach to really bump you up to those next levels. Once you get to those next levels, then people like sponsors might start knocking on the, you might start being able to afford to enter competitions where everybody puts $1,000 in, the winner walks away with $8,000. Or even just investing in, you know, stuff like better food, better supplements, whatever it is that's going to keep you on the mats and keep you training, by having a little bit of money in your back pocket. Being able to buy a car and afford the insurance on it and the petrol on it to drive the other end of the country to compete in an event which might just tip you over the edge, doing all those other things that we discussed along the way, create some content and sell some t-shirts for that and all that. Eventually, you know, you can kind of build an ecosystem where you can survive and live as a grappler because you laid the foundations by doing all the other things that I discussed in this video. But you're going to have to invest in yourself. You're going to have to work somewhere in order to either pay your bills or just to, like I say, invest in yourself, buy some new gear, not testosterone, unless, you know, by gear I mean jiu-jitsu gear, buy some supplements, invest in a strength and conditioning coach, invest in a physio or massage therapy or just an extra gym membership so you can go and use a cold plunge and stuff like that. Focusing on recovery, some supplements for your sleep, things like that. Just basically think of it as okay, yeah, it might be a little bit of lost time, but what you're going to get from the cash from that is invest back into yourself to become the meanest grappler in the world. But when you become undeniable, when you become one of the meanest grapplers in the world, that's when the sponsorships start to come, and that's when the money starts coming flooding in, and Flow Grappling and ringing you and wanting to pay you to do stuff. Although apparently Flow Grappling don't pay people, but you know what I mean. So that's my 5 tips, 5 ways to make money as a grappler. Hope you find it useful. If you like our stuff, obviously please feel free to subscribe to the Rig YouTube. There's always technique videos from all our open mats and stuff on there. We'll start doing some more helpful tips like this as well if you like them. So yeah, nice one. Thanks for watching.